Welcome to the Panda reality show Be a Panda Keeper, launched by iPanda from cctv.com and Giant Panda Culture brand Pandapia. Previously, each of the 4 teams created a tour and visit plan for the assigned tourists, interpreting the popular science of giant pandas and something particularly specified, while leading the tourists visiting the park. The red team ultimately earned the highest score during the assessment, where they were praised for an excellent performance. In the third stage, Mr. Yuan Bo from the Animal Management Department shared knowledge of giant panda environmental enrichment and behavioral training with the participants. On Christmas Eve, the arrival of artist Yang Shikai was a welcome surprise, who taught the keepers to draw the giant panda. They enjoyed a special Christmas and had a ton of fun. For a historical experience with the cutest animal, what will the 12 participants learn next? And what more assessment will they face?
各位大家早上好。今天上午我们将进行的是丰容道具的设计与制作的考核。
The 4 teams will make enrichment items for giant pandas based on the giant panda's behaviors and the available materials. Each team has 45 minutes to design something and 1 hour to make it. Keepers and staff from the Scientific Education Department will grade them in terms of creativity, production process standardization, completion level, teamwork, and applicability to the specified age group. So, let's see what kind of enrichment items they will make.
Because instead of this having an extra tree, you can make that as just like the sandbag. To just weigh it down.
我觉得有可能时间不够，然后有点复杂。最主要的那个目标就是它得训练嘛，不需要太复杂。
Due to the limited time they have to make the item, the red team chose Melody's design instead of Mark's. A relatively practical and operable smart feeding apparatus.
I know from my experiences that if you hang something up in a tree or whatever, like on a rope, they're more likely to play with it and try something with it than just lay it on the ground. That's what I know.
No, but those are depends on different animals. It depends on different animals. Now we're we're gonna design an enrichment which is for pandas.
Yes.
So
okay.
It's different. Yeah, but
okay. So why do you think that's different? Because it's what and every animal actually work with. It's not specifically for.
Jasper differed with Tan Boyang over the design idea. How will they mend this rift?
Design we're gonna do like that. So we're gonna drill the holes here, so they cannot touch the rope. And every time when they shake it, and they touch it, the food will fall out.
Nice.
Eventually, the yellow team decided on a design scheme by talking it through. Keela and the blue team confirmed their design, inspired by the enrichment items they'd seen before. The blue team designed a functional enrichment item that combined their different ideas. It seems to be a complicated design. Will they be able to complete it? The green team is discussing the design scheme based on available materials.
So like on the edge, we can plug it up. On the perimeter, we can have a tube where we have something that really smells good so that the panda smells it. And then the hole in the middle, like a donut, where the food inside here can pass through.
Okay.
After deciding on their design, they began drawing a diagram for a relatively functional feeding apparatus, which looks pretty novel. Now that the 4 teams have finished the designs, it's time to make them. Let's see how they will perform.
好，我们现在来到了熊猫厨房。接下来会分组进行我们丰容道具的制作。那今天我们也有幸邀请了我们大熊猫基地的资深讲员阿布展子来协助大家。好，现在我们开始。
the beginning of the assessment, everyone begins choosing their materials, and the bamboo tubes seem pretty popular. On the green team, everyone cooperated with each other by discussing any problems they encounter actively, leading to successful progress. On the red team, everyone channels their youth and energy into their good teamwork as usual, and helps each other while building their enrichment items in specific steps. Moreover, they have the unique thought of planning out their time.
他设的时间是45分钟，倒计时不是1个小时。就是他说为了防止我们最后15分钟非常急，很赶。
It seems that Mark is a detailed-oriented person. The all-girl blue team does not seem well-versed with the tools. This may cause them to run out of time because they're having trouble with the saw. By contrast, Tan Boyang adeptly sawed the bamboo tube, but disagreed with Jasper while making the item.
This is quite easy.
So make a hole in this, and then you just have to like put this in it, and then just make a. Then you just have to.
So how you gonna put the food?
No, on the underside, what you want.
它也不会掉出来，就跟绳的直径一样大的一个，然后把它堵起来，系个紧就可以堵起来。
In the face of different opinions, what will Tan Boyang do?
Or maybe we can make two.
We can make two. Then I will be busy with one, and you with the other one. That's okay. That's actually better.
Tan Boyang and Jasper decided to create their own items individually due to their different design philosophies. Will they finish in time, or will this new wrinkle hold them up? Due to safety concerns, staff members will be in charge of operating certain dangerous tools. The smart feeding apparatus designed by the red team is simple and easy to operate, which was the first to be finished thanks to the team members' collaboration. Afterwards, the relatively complicated functional enrichment item designed by the green team was finished under Nina's guidance. It seems that the green team is full of surprises.
Alright, we do it together.
Despite all the time it took sawing that bamboo tube, the blue team did pretty well and pushed themselves to ultimately finish the enrichment item. On the yellow team, Tan Boyang and Jasper worked on their own design separately due to a disagreement, which put Huma and Yung in a dilemma. But they luckily finished both enrichment items thanks to utilizing similar principles and simple making procedures.
好了，我们已经完成了今天我们丰容物品的制作，所以接下来我们就会邀请每个组上来给大家分享一下你们做这个东西的一个设计理念和一些使用方法啊，我们就按照从这边开始吧。
我们这个东西它是由2部分组成，它是一个以秋千为主体的一个分容的工具。首先，它的第一部分它是一个在下面的秋千我们会在这个里面放上苹果还有竹子，然后这会增加就是熊猫得到这个食物的趣味性和难度。在上半部分它是这个东西做成的，它是在它的比这个秋千高一些的地方，它的高度差不多在熊猫站立起来的位置，这样就会让熊猫去站立起来，然后用手去够，所以它是一个比较有剪辑过程的这样一个分容的东西。
The blue team had a good idea to make an enrichment item with a swing as the main structure, but it isn't too practical, unfortunately.
我们做的这个丰容的物件的话，叫它趣味投食器。构造的话非常的简单，就是用这个绳子，然后可以就是系到这个树上，然后高度的话可以根据就是熊猫站立的时候， 的平均高度来设定，所以说其实所有的熊猫都能用。
The fun feeding apparatus that the yellow team designed had food put in the bamboo tube, and the hanging height can be adjusted based on the panda's situation. They can shake the bamboo tube to get the food inside to exercise their posterior limbs. These two enrichment items they made were the same in principle, but differed in how they could be hanged.
So we call this enrichment tool the two-bagger because it has two bags. So our target audience is the adult panda. So we wanted to actually appease to the five senses. So we want to do the physical sense of standing, touch, smell, hear, taste, and see.
The multifunctional enrichment item designed by the green team is extremely creative. Food can be placed in the gummy sacks on both sides and in the two bamboo tubes above. And the giant pandas can obtain them through a variety of methods, through which the giant panda's skills can be trained in 5 aspects.
好，观众朋友们，大家好，今天我们要推销的这款就叫 Panda Pinata， 洋气的名字。我们一开始其实设计原因就是，第一是安全，第二是贴近自然，然后呢，其次就是简单。我们只选择了一根绳，是因为它既可以360度转，然后也可以这样上下的动。因为4岁的熊猫它们已经是亚成体，就可以锻炼它们就是后肢力量，然后更方便它们在交配的季节站得更高。今天不要998，只要888，立刻带回家。我们保留知识产权。谢谢。好，谢谢。
The 4 teams have introduced their enrichment items respectively. How will their scores stack up?
那好，现在我已经拿到了各组的分数，所以首先的话是每个组都完成得非常好。那接下来我就会公布每一组得到的最后相应的分数。那绿组是14.5分，黄组14分，红组14分，然后蓝组是12分。
After the first assessment round in the 3rd stage, the green team is first, 75.75 scores totally. The red team is second, 73.95 scores. The blue team is third, 65.7 scores totally. And the yellow team is fourth, 65.5 scores totally. At the end of the assessment, keepers adopted the enrichment item made by the yellow team due to its practicality, and decided to place it in a giant panda enclosure, which makes the team members very happy. After disinfecting it professionally, the keeper put the enrichment item made by the yellow team in the outdoor enclosure of the Sunshine Nursery House. And everyone waited quietly for the giant pandas to play with it. Regretfully and frustratingly, it seemed they did not even notice the new toy.
Animal enrichment is supposed to improve the living environment, quality of life, and welfare of captive animals like the giant pandas. Keepers enrich the giant panda's activity sites in different ways to better simulate the natural living environment of them, increase their activity, and reduce stereotypical behaviors. As a matter of fact, the wooden stands, rockeries, pools, and slides, which are frequently seen in the giant panda activity site, are enrichment facilities for them. The giant panda cubs are delighted to play with rocking horses, rubber balls, and other toys, just like human children. Nowadays, in addition to more abundant and comprehensive enrichment for captive giant pandas, The keepers have also worked hard to improve their living environment. More and more enrichment facilities are expected to allow them to live healthier and happier lives.
At the final stage of this journey, the 12 participants came to the Chengdu research base of giant panda breeding early. What are they going to learn and experience today?
大家早上好。
早上好。
今天我们的主题是大熊猫的遗传，所以今天我们邀请了我们熊猫基地动物研究中心的研究员蔡志刚老师。
今天主要跟大家介绍一下关于大熊猫生育的相关的繁殖的一些知识。Let's begin, please.
The 12 participants followed Mr. Tsai to explore the genetics of giant pandas. What will they learn?
这个是一个关于大熊猫的一个发情相关的，它是这个代表了一个12个月。它这个图呢，代表的这个3个是这个熊猫的一个发情期，它大概是集中在2月到5月期间的某3天，所以说1年中就只有1次的这个排卵的一个机会。
To accurately utilize the extremely short giant panda estrus period, which only lasts 3 days each year, the researchers from the Chengdu Panda base eventually figured out a method to determine their estrus period without hurting them through constant researching and investigations.
就是我们是通过这个判断它的一个激素，不停地去收集它的尿液，来分析它尿液中的一个激素的一个成分，来判断它的一个发情的时间。
By analyzing and determining the hormones in the collected giant panda urine, the researchers are able to correctly determine when the short giant panda estrus period will be, which provides essential support for giant panda breeding.
因为大熊猫它互相有一个择偶性，然后还有一个原因就是，如果因为大熊猫我们会特别注重它的一个遗传的多样性，就会选择去采精的一个方式来进行人工输精，来促进它的一个繁殖的一个效率。
To let the keepers have a more intrinsic understanding of giant pandas' genetics and breeding, Mr. Tsai simulates how to freeze panda sperm, and the 12 participants got the chance to learn the operation. They must have learned something new about giant panda genetics and breeding thanks to Mr. Tsai's lesson and their personal experiences.
那刚才我们学习了大熊猫基因和繁育的相关知识，那么接下来我们就会进入到月亮产房，和我们的饲养员做一个交流，他会给大家介绍更多的关于大熊猫育幼的相关知识。
After the first 2 stages of learning and assessment, the 12 participants finally got the chance to learn in the Moonlight Nursery House today. They were divided into 2 groups. What's planned for them today?
我们首先来到这个地方，我们要操作之前的话，我们会再进行一个手上的消毒。在摸幼崽之前，幼崽在安静的状态下，我们会给它测体温的，是通过这个是传感的，然后我们就是压在它这个地方，下面就是肚脐的位置，测体温。新生的幼崽，我们会每1个小时给它排1次便。这个是它的排便的盘子，我们用毛巾把它给包住，然后1只手这样把它给抓住，保证它的头部稳定，把它托起来，反转过来，这样轻轻的点。称重的时候，我们会就是准备一个就是毛巾，这个毛巾的话，我们首先要在这个秤上归个0。然后我们把这个毛巾拿到这个地方，然后先把头给它包上，我们要先把它固定一下，然后把它这个地方折叠过来，这个地方折叠一下，然后就这样把它给包好。对，从训育箱里面拿出来，放在这个地方称重。这个就是它的吃奶前的体重，因为熊猫在喂奶的时候它容易动，所以说我们首先要固定的是它一个头部，然后抬到这个位置上，让它呈这个姿势。这个奶的温度的话，以我们挨着这个眼皮的地方， 就是刚好温度和你的体温差不多的位置就可以了。看这上面有一个点，就是小孔，开的很小的一个孔，这个孔要压在它的舌头下面，这样进去。然后在喂奶过程中的话，我们必须还要注意一点，就是这个手一定不能松，还有就是喂奶的时候不能让它的头随处摆动。在吃完奶以后，我们就会轻轻的把这个地方给它抬起来，稍微就是说让熊猫这样抚一下它，让它把奶给顺下去。对，然后完了的话，我们会就把熊猫给放到这个位置，也稍微可以给它抬高一点，给它盖上被子，可以。
It's an uneasy job to nurse giant panda cubs. The caretakers have to be particularly meticulous, and any carelessness will affect the cubs. Nanny Dai interpreted the workflow and manners that needed attention regarding giant panda cub nursing to the 12 participants in detail, who then began simulation-based learning and experience personally. Well, how do they feel after such a practice?
很开心，很激动。
育幼的步骤大部分都知道了。
就说我觉得只要胆大心细，然后就没什么问题了。
I was so excited because I had the opportunity to see one of the babies. Yeah, I think it was just lucky.
After learning in the morning, everyone understood much more about giant panda cub nursing. Next, the last assessment for this activity will start.
大家下午好，我们今天下午要进行的是育幼工作考核，利用今天所学的内容，通过使用大熊猫幼崽模型和育幼箱等相关设备，对大熊猫幼崽模型进行模拟育幼操作考核。
The order of this assignment is decided by the team leader drawing lots. The red team, the green team, the blue team, and the yellow team take turns. The first red team member to be assessed is Mark. How will he perform?
Start. Okay.
Although Mark didn't see the disinfectant behind him, he had a pretty good sense of disinfection. He excelled in his performance by paying attention to the details and passed his assessment. So did Melanie and Lu Jiachen. They were both accurate and meticulous. The red team seems to have learned well and passed their assessment smoothly. Next, the green team will begin their assessments. Will they succeed?
Bye. Send positive vibes.
The first green team member to be assessed was Nina. However, she put the mask on backwards at the beginning of the assessment and accidentally dropped the waste cotton ball after she helped the cub defecate, which meant deduction of points. Afterwards, she performed well and passed her assessment. The second green team member to be assessed was Rosamunda, who was steady in measuring the cub's temperature and helping it defecate, but made a mistake in zeroing out the weight of the towel, which meant she didn't get the weight of the cub properly. And ran out of time when feeding it milk.
Is that 5? Yeah. Time. Finish? Finish. Okay.
The last green team member, Lin Boda, started his assessment. As a Super Panda fan, he may perform well.
Huh?
What's this? Isn't it unbecoming? is it good to let it defecate in the incubator? Is your plate for decoration only? Is it really good to place the cub like this? How could the cub be fed this way? It seems that Lin Boda's practice was incorrect.
好了吗？好，好了，谢谢，请出去。
Afterwards, the all-girl blue team began their assessment. The first one up was Zhang Chenxi, who did well and was meticulous throughout, succeeding in her assessment. Keela made the same mistakes as Lin Boda, forgetting to help the cub defecate in the plate, and also operated incorrectly when trying to zero out the towel's weight. As a Super Panda fan, Miho operated according to the standard, but wasn't meticulous enough. She ran out of her time when preparing to feed the cub milk. The last team to be assessed was the yellow team. Tan Boyang did well, but not well enough when measuring the temperature and helping the cub defecate. He also forgot to zero out the towel's weight and ran out of time when preparing to weigh the cub. Hu Maiying did pretty well in the beginning, but removed the towel from the cub to zero out the towel's weight after helping the cub defecate, which may be a safety concern for the cub. The last to be assessed was Jasper, who did well when measuring the temperature, but he got nervous afterwards, and his hands began to tremble. He made obvious mistakes due to his nervousness while helping the cub defecate and feeding milk. It seemed that Jasper needed to learn more. All the assessments are now completed. What results will they get?
Hello， 大家晚上好。我现在呢从饲养员那里拿到了你们每一组的得分。我现在要把它封到信封里。
The scores for each team were placed in the envelopes, and the final grades will be revealed tomorrow morning. What's the results? Which team is in the lead? Which team will eventually get a historical experience with the cutest animal? Tune in next time to find out.
The growth of children relies on their mother's care. It's no different for giant pandas. The way a panda mother looks after her children is impressive. Like this. What if the kids are naughty? Their mothers have a solution.